Okay, so let's get on with some Qigong this morning. So today we're gonna do Qigong for longevity, and it's also subtitle Qigong for seniors, because the unique thing about Qigong is that it's really good for people who, how can you say it, older people, because it's so gentle in the body, and there's so many things that we do in the practice that actually help with longevity and health. So I really want to highlight those things in the practice today. And I'm also going to be occasionally using a chair just to demonstrate more diverse ways you can be practicing. Because sometimes, we have injuries in the lower body. We can begin to have weakness or sickness as we age at different points. So we still want to be able to move the body and do things for our health and body. So I want to show you some practices that you can do. And this is also for anyone too, because we can all use longevity, right? We want to have health and well-being as we age. So there'll be some practices and some principles I'll be describing here that will help you maintain your vitality and your wealth of health as you age. So let's start in a seated posture. I'm just going to mute the computer here. And we'll start with meditation. So today, again, I'm actually going to use a chair just to demonstrate what it's like to sit in a chair and meditate, which is totally okay to do. Okay. So when you sit in meditation in a chair, so if you want to sit on a cushion, you can do that too. You want to see if you can sit at the front edge of the chair with the feet flat on the ground. And if possible, see if you can get the pelvis to tilt forward like this and get the spine to elongate the best you can. And if your body is really fatigued, you're sick, or just coming out of a sickness, things like that, then it's okay to lean back too. But ideally, you want to have the spine straight. So then if you lean back, maybe come back to the back of the seat so your spine is as upright as possible. Now, if you're sitting in the front, again, feet flat on the ground, spine long. Tuck the chin back slightly and lift the crown. And from there, play with, again, tilting with the hips forward and back. And when you lean, you're not leaning through the mid-spine and upper spine and neck and head. Rather, you're moving from the pelvis. You're leaning and rocking forward. Just do that a couple times. Rock back from the hips. Rock forward. And rock back. And look for the center point. Again, you can do this if you're sitting down on a cushion as well. And then I'm also wiggling side to side, leaning to the left, leaning to the right. And I'm looking for center. I'm really working on lining up my center line. Now, if you lean just the right amount forward, for some of you, you'll notice that the pressure in the back will go away. And we really want to relieve that compression in the spine. You can even use your hands on your thighs here to lift the heart and crown, push down with the hands and kind of pull up and lift, just to create that elongation to the spine. And from there, let's close the eyes. And begin to feel your breath. Notice the state of your breath. How deep is your breath today? And when you check the breath, notice how long your inhale, exhales are. And also notice how deep the breath is going physically, meaning, are you just breathing into the chest, or do you feel the breath coming down into the ribs, down towards the belly? And on your inhale, see if you can aim down towards the navel, towards the lower belly. If it helps for some of you, you can even put a hand or two there. And see if you can expand the belly and inhale and expand the belly out into the palms. As you exhale, gently draw the belly back towards the spine. And getting your belly moving, getting your diaphragm functioning. Now, for some of you, if it comes naturally, I want to invite you to take a small pause at the end of the inhale and also at the end of your exhale. Again, do your best here. If you feel like you're forcing, if you're getting tight, tense, then soften the breath. Just let it go. Breathe naturally. Okay, let's stay with the breath for a couple more rounds. If possible, staying with the belly breathing, abdominal breathing. Nice. And exhale all the breath out. And let's bring the palms together in front of the heart. And check your spine and torso again. Make sure the spine torso is upright. And let's feel the center line elongate all the way into the heavens, all the way down into the ground. And link up our center channel with heaven and earth. As humans, we are existing between heaven and earth. We are one with the sky and also with the ground and the earth. We exist in an interdependent web. And setting intention for the practice today, and we'll start with a bow in. So welcome to your practice. And let's start with some shaking. So now, if you're doing shaking sitting, I just want to demo it. If you can do it standing, just stand up and start shaking. But you can just shake the legs out first like this. You can shake the arms out. And then you can bend and straighten the spine and shake the spine out. Okay. So standing, the feet apart, hips width distance, we'll shake lightly, bending and straightening the knees, bouncing up and down. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale long, make a sound. Again, if you're sitting, you can start with your legs, shake the legs out. You can rotate the knees in and out. Kick the legs lightly, shake the arms out while you're doing it. Okay, if you're standing, keep shaking. And then you can also move into the spine and the arms. In transition, you can go back and forth. Okay. If you're standing, close your eyes, bring awareness to your feet, and relax the feet. Ankles and calves. Knees. Bring awareness into your thighs. Shake those thighs out. Jiggle your thighs. And shake the hips. Lower belly and lower back. Take a deep breath into the abdomen. Make sound on the exhale. Again. And breathe all the way up into the chest. Neck, shoulders, and exhale down those arms. And shake the tension down from the neck, shoulders, down your arms. Again, repeat, inhale, breathe up into the chest, neck, shoulders, and exhale down those arms. Whew. And then shake the whole body. Again, if you're sitting, see if you can extend lightly and flex the spine and move the neck and shake the spine, shake the arms. If you're standing, do the whole body, shake a bit more intensely. Shaking off all the tension that you're stored up in your body from this past couple days or week. And pause. Okay, if you're sitting, just sit upright again. Bring the weight into the center. So you're maybe leaning just ever so slightly, but upright, so you're not compressing the spine. If you're standing, putting the weight into the center of the feet and just pausing, feeling your body. And take a couple breaths here. Okay, next, we're gonna gently twist and swing the arms. So if you're standing, you're shifting the weight from one hip to the other and letting the arms swing. If you're seated, you can just bring your arms up so you don't hit the chair, but come into the front of your chair and gently rotate the body within a comfortable natural range of motion. Okay, we're going to rotate the spine along with the neck and head. Notice I'm turning my neck and head as well. Okay, and if you're standing, let the arms swing all the way around. Shifting weight from one leg to the other, turning the neck and head. So I really love these simple relaxation and loosening exercises in Qigong because everyone can do them. It really makes a difference. And tension accumulates and stress accumulates in the body so quickly these days. Yeah, we need to be doing these every day, something we should be doing every day just to unlock and unwind some of the stress and tension from the body-mind. Because the more the body gets tight and the more the body stores that tension, it really does affect our qi flow and our state. And it does affect our mental state, our immune system, our behavior as well, right? Because it really influences mood. So we want to stay relaxed and loose as much as possible. And it's a daily maintenance. It's like brushing your teeth, right? Or taking a shower. Unwinding body tension and nervous tension in the body should be, for most of us, a daily routine. So if you don't have time, you can just do these loosening exercises before you go to sleep or when you wake up. And it can only take like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. Good. Keep going. Turn the head. Now, as your body loosens up, go a little deeper into that twist. Turn that neck and spine and the upper spine a little deeper. Watch the knees though. Don't let the knees fall in. Push the knees out to the sides. Take care of your knee joints. If you're doing this and standing, and if you have knee joint issues, just be very gentle with your knees. Turn more from the hips. Keep going. Take a nice deep breath here. Long exhale. Doing good. And relax. Now from here, if you're seated, lean forward. You're going to tilt your spine forward like this. You're going to make a light fist. So notice how I have space in between my hands here, in my palms. I'm curling the fingers. And I'm going to use the knuckle of my index finger and my thumb on this side. Okay. And I'm just going to lightly tap the lower back. Bring your awareness into the lower back as you're tapping it, right into the kidneys. So if you're standing, you can just hunch over, right? And you're just going to be tapping right along the side of the spine, around the lower back, and stimulating the lower back and the kidney energy. So when we do longevity practices, there's a lot of focus on the tien, there's a lot of focus on the kidneys, the kidney energy, because again, the kidneys are the storehouse for your vitality. So we want to keep the kidney energy flowing, strong and healthy and balanced. Okay, and then you can lightly tap along the spine, right along what's called the gate of life, right? The Mingmen, the kidney area, in the center. Work your way down towards the sacrum, back of the pelvis. Take a deep breath into the lower back and relax. Yeah, rub it down now. Use your palms. So again, if you're sitting, you're still hunched over, the palms are now rubbing the lower back up and down. Close your eyes and breathe into the lower back. As you breathe in, imagine the breath and the qi energy being sent down into your lower spine area. Okay, now use your fingertips and rub along the vertebrae, right through the center. All the way down towards the sacrum again. So same area you were tapping, but now you're just rubbing with your fingertips. Okay, and now keep your palms placed on the lower back kidney area. You're going to round the spine. If you're standing, just keep going. Just round the spine. Breathe into the lower back. If you're sitting, lean forward further. Close your eyes. Breathe into the lower back. Just like when we were doing belly breathing, when we were concentrating on taking the breath down towards the lower abdomen, this is kind of like belly breathing, but moving towards the lower spine. And just opening up the kidney energy. Now the kidney energy also has this fascinating effect of holding down the lung qi which means that it allows for deeper breaths when the kidney energy is strong. Which is interesting because when we have asthma, shortness of breath, what we do is, what is it? I think in inhalers there's steroids, right? So basically adrenal hormones are what we use to open up the lungs. So there's maybe something here. And you'll notice, and I noticed from practicing over time, that as I'm able to breathe into the kidneys, and my qi is in my kidneys and my dantian, my breath naturally is deeper. And when we get stressed out and depleted, you can feel the qi leave the dantian and the kidney area. And the breath does get short, more shallow. Okay, so just to help the lungs out as well, we want to keep the kidneys strong. Okay, I'm going to give the lower back a couple more rubs. Take another deep breath in. Okay, we'll come back to the kidneys again. Now, let's stimulate the dantian. So find your belly button, go a couple inches below the belly button, and we're just going to strike the lower belly lightly like this and tap it. Again, it's better if you're at the front of your chair, if you're sitting, so you can expose and open up the belly by flexing the spine into extension. If you're standing, a little easier. Okay, just begin striking the dantian. Ground into the feet, bend the knees slightly. You know, it's a pretty simple movement, so you can close your eyes and tune into your lower belly as you're tapping it, because that'll help the qi also move more actively down into the dantian, a little easier. So as your body warms up, you can increase the intensity of the striking if you like. Do what feels good to your body. Right? You want it to feel stimulating and energizing, so it brings more vitality and liveliness into your body. And take a nice deep breath in. Long exhale. Keep striking. And relax. Rub the belly down. Take a couple deep breaths into the lower belly. Now hold the hands out in front of the lower belly, in front of the dantian, and just pause here, whether you're standing or sitting. If you're standing, drop your tailbone slightly, lift the crown. If you're sitting, make sure the spine is still upright. Palms are facing the point a couple inches below your navel. And we're resting our awareness in that region of the body. For those of you who are open in that more non-dual state of awareness, also the space in front of the body simultaneously, all the way through the field on that level. And see if you can actually feel the qi sinking into the dantian. See if you can feel the body-mind settling more as the energy and the qi flow opens up towards the kidneys and dantian. There's a very distinct feeling that happens when that downward current in the body really opens up and the qi copiously begins to fill and flow down towards the lower body. There's a sense of well-being that emerges in the body. Nice. Rub your palms together. We'll do a bit more tapping. So let's go back to the kidneys one more time. Just tap the kidneys again lightly. Stimulate again. Just real lightly, waking it up. Good. And then cup your palms. And then tap the side of your hips. In front of the hips. I mentioned this possibly in some of my other videos, but the hips and the pelvis, very important again for longevity. There was some study done a while ago where they found a correlation between hip issues, lack of mobility in the legs and pelvis, and weakness in the hips and pelvis, and morbidity rates. So basically the study was saying that the stronger your legs and hips were, and they assessed us through back of the hips, the people's capacity to get off the ground without using their hands. And they found out people who had a lower capacity, strength in the legs and pelvis, had a higher rate of disease and death at the older ages. Okay, let's tap down the legs, outer legs. So keep your legs and hips strong and stimulated and awake. Tops of the feet, come up the inner legs. I'm going to move this. So if you're sitting, you can just do one leg at a time. You can do both legs. Okay, you can tap down the legs this way, go to the tops of the feet. Just go as far down as you can. Some of you may not be able to bend over all the way, that's fine. If you're standing, I want you to go up from the inner feet, inner legs, inner knee, inner thigh, back to the tien like we did earlier. And let's tap all the different meridians. So let's come down the front line now, through the stomach channel. Right through the quads, and down through the front of the shin, up the inside of the legs. Now this might be a little difficult to do if you're seated, so you may want to see if you can stand up just briefly for this one, but tap the back of the legs, the hamstrings, back of the knees, maybe towards the calves as far as you can go. Come over the tops of the feet and back up the inner legs. Okay, let's do one more round. Okay, in front of the hips, tien, to the side of the hips, and then come down the outer thigh, outer knee, and work your way down the calves and tops of the feet, inner legs, tien, front legs. Okay, so striking like this also stimulates the bones too. It helps the bone marrow. It strengthens the bone as well, so it may be helpful for osteoporosis and any atrophying of the joints or the bone structure in the back. It's just a theory, but in Chinese martial arts practices, they do these practices where you do a lot of striking of the body as a way of strengthening the tissues, making them more resilient. Good, striking tien, pelvis, and relax. Rub the belly down. Take a deep breath in, into the belly. Close your eyes and bring your awareness down into the lower belly for a moment. And take a couple breaths into the lower belly, whether you're standing or sitting. And open up the tien breathing. So now as you stimulated the legs and opened up the chi flow in the legs, see if you can feel more chi or more current, more sensation, more presence in the lower body and the legs. Nice. Next, let's come on up. If you're standing, if you're sitting, I'll show you what to do in a second. We're going to roll the hips. Okay, so with the knees bent, slowly begin to rotate the hips. All right, push the hips to the side as far as you can. Pause there maybe, go slow. And push the hips forward, so you stretch into the front of the hips, and to the side, then all the way back. Then again to the side, forward, side, and back. If you're sitting, you can just do your best by rotating the pelvis along with the spine, just leaning from one side, forward, other side, back. Again, this one is ideal if you can stand. And if you have a chair, what you can do is you can stand for a little bit if you're feeling weak in the legs, you're tired. Just do as much as you can standing, and if it gets too much, just take a seat, take a break, maybe roll the hips around seated for a little bit, and then challenge yourself a little bit by coming up. Having a chair around really helps because then you can really modulate the intensity of what you're doing and take breaks and gradually build strength. Okay, and then reverse. And then keep going. Just gonna check on something here. Okay. And then breathe, bend those knees, push into those hips, keep rotating. As your body ages, if you want to maintain healthy mobility, which will again improve your longevity, you got to take care of the joints. And you will hear me say this over and over and over like a broken record, and I will just keep saying it because I want everyone to really understand that and know that it's really important to take care of your joint structure. Okay, good. And then take a break. Just relax for a second. You can take a seat. And take a couple of deep breaths. Okay, breathe into the dantian for a second. As your hips are being stimulated and the hips wake up, can you breathe more into the dantian? And one of the unique teachings of Taoist practice and Taoist longevity wisdom is the idea of building qi in the dantian, right? Building the vitality in the core, building qi in the kidneys and dantian. And we can begin to accomplish this by simply learning how to train our awareness, our mind, to settle in the lower belly area, in the kidney lower belly area. And naturally from there, over time, we will begin to feel the qi actually collecting and gathering there. There's a very distinct quality and feeling that develops. And this naturally leads to the idea of the conservation of the energy in the qi, and the storing of and holding in of the qi. A very unique concept in Taoist practice that you don't find in Western exercise concepts and principles. Next. So for those of you who really can't stand, you can simply do a gentle bending and extending of the knee joint like this. You can do it one leg at a time. If you're able to stand, again, you can keep a chair behind you for balance, and also for safety, you can bring the knees together and then rotate those knees in circles slowly. Good. If your balance is good, close your eyes. Otherwise, open your eyes and focus your awareness, at the least, in your knees and hips. Move slow. Take a breath. Relax the neck, shoulders, and the spine. Okay, and then reverse. Take a nice deep breath. Nice. From here, bend and straighten the knees. So again, if you're sitting, you can keep working on gentle bending and straightening of the knees, and then you can take a break right around now. Go back to belly breathing or dantian breathing. Okay. And relax. Shake the legs out. Now let's work into the spine. So if you're seated, you're going to take your arms up and arc back a little. So on this one, you can actually use the back of the chair and actually sit back a little further. And you can bring the arms up and take a light back bend using the support of the back of the chair as you inhale, just to stretch the front of the body out. If you're standing, you can do this way, and just make sure you bend the knees, ground into the feet, arc back, open the front of the body up. All right, stretch it out. And then exhale. You can either go forearm on the thighs and just forward bend the spine, let the weight of the head stretch the spine forward. If you can drop all the way over your thighs, go for that. Okay, if you're standing, you're obviously coming all the way down into a forward bend with keeping the knees slightly bent. Again, inhale, come back up. I'll do the standing here. Arch up, pull up with the palms, lengthen the body out. And then exhale, fourfold, drop, and you can even pulse. Lift up and down, okay? Again, seated, inhale. If you're doing that one, seated version, arc back, fourfold, and then you can also lift and lower and kind of shake the spine out. And keep going. Inhale, I'll just keep alternating. And exhale, drop, pulse. Okay, seated, inhale, arc back, and exhale, forward, pulse. Okay, inhale, a couple more. Pull up, lengthen, chin up, draw up with the chin and throat, exhale, drop. Now try twisting a little to the right, over the right leg, over the left leg. And then center back up. And exhale, lower the arms down. Take a pause. If you're standing, go to Wuji for a moment. Bend the knees, feet a little wider than the hips. Tailbone down, crown up. If you're in a seated posture, just place your hands on your thighs, spine upright. Close your eyes and breathe into the spine. down. From here, bring the arms up like this with the elbows bent, the palms facing forward, the wrists are cocked. From here, I'd like you to bring that left hand, left arm by the right elbow like this. Okay, so you just fold that left shoulder in towards the right elbow and then just twist as far as you can to the right. You can do this seated. If you're standing, you're going here and you're twisting. Don't let the knee fall in, the left knee fall in. Push the left knee out to the left. Look over the shoulder and twist the spine, hold it. If you're seated, again, you're just going as far as you can comfortably and then turning the head along with the spine, breathing here. Push your knees out. And then stay here, just turn the palms facing towards you now. Okay, hold it there. And then slowly unwind, turn the palms out, and then twist the other way. Notice both elbows are bent, the wrists are cocked. Okay. So it looks like this, just twisting. Knees pushing out. Okay. Rotate, look over the shoulder, hold it. Lightly press out through the palms. So you're getting a gentle extension through the lines in the arms. Now turn the palms towards you. Okay, turning the palms, then looking at your palms. And untwist. Okay, from here, left palm, right, keep the elbow bent. Left palm goes overhead like this, the palm facing up. Right hand here by the armpit. And then you're leaning over. So push down through that left hip, left foot if you're standing. Arc over to the right. Now look down. Let the head tilt, stretch through the neck. So again, if you're standing, you're bending the knees slightly. Pulling down from the hip and the knee, like a side angle pose. Arcing over the left side, looking down, breathing here. Breathing into the left side, inhale, exhale. Good, come up, inhale, switch. Here, palm up. Push the knees out. Ground that right hip so you stay anchored. Side bend, tilt the head over. Make sure you stay rooted on your chair, you don't fall over, okay? If it feels scary, then come back a little. You still can get a nice stretch without using that much force. If you're standing, knees bent, drop through that right hip and that right foot. Arc back, you're opening up those meridians right along the side of the body. Breathing here. Nice. And then come on up. Next, rolling the wrists. So usually we do this one big movement for the wrist, elbows, and shoulders, but today we're going to break down the joints in the arms and the hands because, again, for a lot of people who, as they age, one of the things that becomes really bothersome is the joint pain, right? In the wrist, the elbow joint, the shoulder joint. So again, we want to make sure we spend some time taking care of those joints. So again, you're rolling the fingers in towards you, and then back, forward, just rotating. I know some of these joint exercises can feel and maybe seem a little boring or trivial, but do them because they really make a difference. Okay, and then reverse, other way. So if you're seated, you could just simply do it in front of you like this. And for some of us, we might be working out a lot, maybe we're over enthusiastic, and there's days where we need to have off days. And in those days, actually doing a seated Qigong sequence might be the thing. Gives the body the opportunity to rest, but you can still do these real gentle exercises to show it seated first. Palms facing down, press down. Turn the palms up, inhale. Palms down, exhale, standing. Okay, inhale. And exhale. Now you can kind of fold this. If you want to be a little more dynamic here, you can fold the spine, inhale. Extend the spine, lean back, exhale, lean forward. And you can do this when you're seated as well. So there's a bit more of a flow or rhythm that involves the whole body. Press down, Inhale, lean back slightly. As you take the hands, push down. So you're working the elbow joint and rotating the ulna and the radius bone. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, ready? Reverse it. Now back up from the center. Inhale. Turn out, palms facing down, and exhale down. Okay, inhale. Palms up, and then palms down. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. So from both Indian Ayurveda and Taoist Chinese medicine wisdom, there exists this principle of not over depleting the life force or the life essence, Jing or Ojas. And so the exercise recommendations are quite interesting when they come from the Eastern tradition. Good, relax. And shake the arms out. And let's do the shoulders. So standing, you just start rotating, twisting the body, and just rolling the shoulders in circles. If you're sitting, you can still do the same. Pull the shoulder up, back, and then down, and repeat on the other side. And you're going to end up turning the torso slightly as you do this. Okay. So if you're standing, there's a little bit more of a shifting of the weight to the legs. So the weight bearing is really good for the hips and legs. So when you have the vitality to stand for a second and train, keep working on that, right? And you can always come back to the chair. So again, coming back to the concept I was just sharing, in the Eastern traditions, the recommendations for exercise, both I've heard in the Taoist master and this Ayurveda master, both say the same thing, which was exercise just until you get a light sweat on the upper back, and that should be enough. Right? Very interesting, very different from Western exercise recommendations. Good, in reverse. Recently, when this video was made at least, the recommendation tends to be, do stuff like HIIT, right? High intensity, bring the heart rate up, which I really do believe has its own benefits, for sure. But I think it's really fascinating to kind of blend those wisdoms together and have sort of a balanced body practice. So there's days where you're challenging the body, and also days you're still moving, but you're doing something more gentle and restorative, like Qigong or gentle yoga. Okay, so we reversed, right? So then you go back, up, forward, down. Okay, back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down. This one goes back, up, forward. A little coordination involved here. Notice this spine is also being influenced by this movement. Right. The cool thing about a lot of these joint exercises is that it's not as localized as it seems. There's still quite a full body experience happening. Try closing your eyes once you have the movement down and really feel the movement in your body. We'll do this for a couple more breaths. Nice, and relax. Bring the fingertips to the head of the shoulders, and then rotate. Now, when you do these shoulder rotations, you're also impacting the rib cage, you're impacting the upper back, the shoulder blades, the neck area, the nerves in that area. You're also stimulating all the lymph nodes. There's a bunch of lymph nodes in the armpits, in the neck throat area, right in the chest. So really good to do. It releases some of the nervous tension in the shoulders, neck area, also through the heart and chest and upper back. Good for that whole area. Opens up the lungs and the intercostals and the ribs. Okay, so if you can, bring the elbows all the way back and then up, and then bring the elbows all the way forward, touch them together if you can, and bring them down. Okay, so if you want to synchronize it with the breath, inhale as you lift the elbows, open the lungs up. Exhale as you bring the elbows together and bring the elbows down. Nice. And then reverse. Let's go the other way. Exhale, elbows down. Inhale, elbows up. Nice. And relax. Shake the arms out. Okay, just take a pause. If you're standing, go to Wuji. If you're seated, just spine upright, hands on thighs. Bring the arms out to the sides, elbows bent, wrist cocked, drop chin, roll the neck and head side to side. So I usually choose not to go all the way back because for some people that agitates the vertebrae in the cervical spine and the neck. So just go to the side, tilt back a little bit, and then come back forward to the side. Tilt back just slightly so you don't crunch up the back of the neck. We're not going to go over the center point and roll over to the other side. You're going to stop there and then reverse direction. Now roll the wrist if you can as you roll the neck and head. Nice. And release. Shake the arms out, neck, shoulders out. Now we're going to come back to a joint that we kind of skipped in the beginning. But let's do the ankle. So if you're seated, you just raise one foot up and then roll the ankle. You don't have to raise it this high. I'm just showing you, so I'm raising it a little higher here. And go slow. Try to move your toes. Your feet are very important. Your ankles and your feet, if they're staying strong and dexterous, it'll really help with your balance and your leg strength. Okay. If you're standing, you can lean on something and just lift the leg up and rotate. Another thing you can also do, if you have some shoes on, just be careful if you have toes, is you can keep the big toe on the ground and then kind of roll the ankle around the big toe. Just be very gentle and light with it. I prefer raising it up if possible and rotating. Okay. Now, and then reverse, rotate the ankle in the opposite direction. Okay, and then switch, other one, rotate. Go slow. Feel your ankle, become aware of your feet, your foot, your toes. There's so many bones down in there, see if you can feel them moving. And then reverse. So the joints are the junction points between all the sections in the body. And if you notice, a lot of Marma's pressure points or acupressure points, pressure points, are in and around the joints. So when you free up the joints, you'll notice the overall circulation and qi flow in the body will improve dramatically. And one of the problems with the body aging is that the circulation gets really poor. And it's one of the things that contribute to joint issues and low energy, things like that. Okay, all right, cool. Next, let's start to mobilize some of the qi in the body. So we'll do something simple. So take the palms facing the ground. If you're standing, this posture, knees slightly bent. And I just want you to, if you're standing, I just want you to lean side to side, forward and back. Just kind of rock the body like this, just to feel the ground so you can feel the feet, wake up the feet and the legs. If you're seated, same thing, just lean in different directions so you can feel the hips, right? Opening up the energy and circulation in the hips. And bring your awareness down, feel the ground. Good. Now come to center. Imagine breathing in from the hands and feet. You're breathing the earth up from the hands and feet. As you exhale, feel your body gently melting into the ground. So whether you're standing or seated, try closing your eyes on this one. Keep going, take a couple more breaths, just feeling the earth, feeling the ground. Nice. From here, raise the arms forward and up as you breathe in slowly. And as you exhale, lower the arms down, right to your sides. Feel yourself lifting from the ground Inhale. Pause. Exhale, slowly and gently release. Sink into the ground. Again, if you're standing, same thing. Inhale, lifting. Knees bent, sink the body, and drop into the earth. Exhale. If you're fairly aware of your central channel, feel the central channel lift slightly. And then feel the central channel, right, like a pole, like a pillar, sinking from the bottom into the hole in the ground. All right, so imagine there's a central channel or pillar. There's a hole in the ground right underneath the center of the pillar that you're dropping the pillar into, like a post into the pillar, into the hole. Lifting it up again on the inhale, and then dropping the pillar down into the ground. So to do that, you have to really maintain the alignment between the pelvic floor and the crown, so there's a sense of verticality, right? We're not tilted with the pillar, right? If you have your pillar tilted, you can't get that pillar in the hole. Straight up, straight down. Inhale. Breathing up. And drawing the chi up. And then exhale. Nice and sink. Okay, good. From here, turn the palms. Inhale, lift. Overlap the palms over the crown, and then exhale. Invite the chi to come down the front of the body to the dantian, and then release. Inhale. Nice and slow movement here. So as the chi is liberated through the joint exercises, now we're starting to circulate and guide the flow of the chi. On this one, we're beginning to invite the chi to, again, return to fill the dantian area, the battery of the body. The more energy in the battery, the more longevity we have, right? Like the Energizer Bunny. Longer lasting battery is what we're charging up here. Okay, inhale. Crown. Guide the chi from the head down into the dantian, pausing. Inhale. For some of you, you may notice how this has a calming effect. So if you're standing, okay, if you're standing, you're going to straighten the knees out just a little bit as you raise the arms up. You're going to overlap those palms over the crown, and you're going to guide the chi energy down to the dantian. You're going to pause it there, and then release. Let's do two more. And then again, hold the hands in front of the dantian, couple inches, so find your belly button, couple inches below the belly button. Can you feel there's more charge building in the belly area? Can you feel that you're able to settle or sink more deeply into the core? Rest there for a moment. Excuse me. All right, next. So, rub the belly down. Now hover the hands off the body, like this. The palms, again, the center of the palms are overlapped. Okay, the hands are hovering off the body, and then you're going to circle the energy ball, energy around the belly, through and inside the belly. So you're coming up the right side and going down the left side. Close your eyes once you have it down. Pretty simple movement. Can you feel the chi rotating? Nice, up to the chest level. Repeat. And then up to the upper dantian, forehead. So go up your right side and down your left side. Okay, so it's going to be the reverse of what it looks like from your end. Check it, right? Go up, so it'll be like this: up your right side and down your left side. And then come down to the chest again, middle dantian. And then down to the lower dantian. Nice. Good. And hold the energy ball in front of the dantian again. Okay. The lower part of the spine, so see if you can feel the tailbone. And then slowly begin to guide it up the spine. Lower back, mid back, upper back, neck. So overlap the hands over the neck, over the crown, and then guide it down the front of the body. Pelvic floor again. Now from here, inhale into the spine and breathe and energize the spine. Lower back, mid back, upper back, neck into the brain, and then down the front of the body. Good. For some of you who have good inner sense, inner vision, imagine the prana, or the energy, like light. Let's do a light with a blue hue to it, right? Like a little blue tinge to the light. Comes up and fills up the spine, all the way up into the brain, fills and nourishes the brain, energizes the brain, and then it comes down the front body. And you can smile, send smiley energy into the spine, breathe up the spine, energize the spine. Lower back, mid back, upper back, neck, brain. Smile into the brain, down the front of the body. Pelvic floor again. Lower back, inhale. Mid back, upper back, neck, brain, and down the front line. One more. So this one you can do for a long time if you want to on your own. And then all the way down, and hold again the hands in front of the dantian and let the chi settle there. See if you can breathe into the belly again like you did in the beginning of class. See if it's easier to do that. Slow breath, so maybe even pausing a little bit at the end of the inhale and then the exhale. Can you feel more vital force, chi in the body, and especially in the lower area of the body? Nice, and then rub the belly down. Take a breath in. Wrap around the waist, and I want you to rub the lower back and kidneys down again, one more time. Okay, keeping the hands on the lower back, lean forward, and inhale into the kidneys, inhale into the lower back. Fill up. Okay, and then as you exhale, you feel it gently soften, deflate. Inhale, you feel it fill up. Exhale. For those of you who are a bit more intermediate or advanced, you can feel the kidney and then also feel the spine and the brain up, the whole sea of marrow. Energize the whole back line. So the kidney energy also impacts the spine and the brain as well. Kidneys govern the marrow, so the deepest systems in the body, which include the spine, the cerebrospinal fluid and brain system. So they say that treating the kidneys and kidney deficiency and charging the kidneys and strengthening the kidneys can have a positive effect on your nervous system. It could be helpful with neurodegenerative diseases like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, and what's the other one? I'm blanking out. But symptoms of dementia, things like that. I'm not saying that that's the case. I just heard of that. My teacher was talking about it, so just sharing. Good. Take one more deep breath into the kidneys. And rub it down. Okay, and let's just take a short sit to end. So, seated posture, feet flat on the ground, spine straight. If you're on a chair, if you're sitting cross-legged on the ground. Ideally, cushions underneath your hips so you can get the hips and spine elevated. It's easier to sit upright that way. And this is like Shavasana today. We're just resting in a seated posture, not doing anything, just watching the after effect of our practice. Notice how you feel. See if there's a little bit more lightness, a little bit more ease. When you experience ease or well-being, you really want to notice it and highlight it in your awareness. We want to make the sense of well-being something that's really familiar to us. So we're drawn to return to that place. And we engage in activities that support us hanging out in that space. All right, and then let's rub the palms together. Get them warm if you can, and give your face a little rub. And just gently rub your scalp. Squeeze your neck. And rub the heart down. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Make a ha sound as you rub the heart. And rub the belly. Rub your lower back down. And your thighs. And circle the knees. Rub your knees down. Wonderful. Thanks for joining me this morning. If you have any moms, dads, grandpas, grandmas, seniors that you think would benefit from this practice, please share it with them. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. All right. Thank you so much.